What's going on, guys? JPP Duel here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday. And for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my deck list and which cards I took out, which cards I added after the ban list came out, and how it has improved my deck list compared to the other Pranks players. Let's get on with the video. Now, the deck list I'm going to be showcasing today is my hand trap / consistency deck list, which you guys are seeing on the screen right now. Now, first of all, let's start with the 3 copies of Fancies. Yes, I do run 3 copies in this deck list because first of all, let me say this, it's for me personally. I'm not saying everyone's unlucky out there, but I'm extremely unlucky with my coin tosses. I almost always lose my coin toss, and Prank Kids, as you guys know, is a deck that prefers to go first. Going second, it kind of sucks because you do not have that many tools to break your opponent's board. Also, anytime I go first with a coin toss, most of the times I end up bricking with all sorts of garnets in my hand. So to counteract that, what I did was I built this deck list for more consistency. Now, do not discount that one additional card. It could make or break your gameplay. So that's the reason for 3 Fancies over 2, which people normally run now with Prank Kids. Up next, we have 2 Maxi, 2 Ash Blossoms. Yes, I have been running 2 Ash, 2 Max since way back in Season 5 to open up more slots in my deck, to tech in more cards to out my opponent's board. Usually those cards were Kaijus when Sword Soul came out, but I don't run Kaijus anymore. Another thing is that I do not run the DPE engine in my deck list. I have not been running it for I believe 2 months now, and I've had so much success with it because let's be honest now, with the ban list coming out, Fusion Destiny being at 1, Celestial being banned out completely, you do not get the +2 from Celestial anymore, and if your opponent uses Fusion Destiny and you have Cross Out in your hand, if you cross out your opponent's Fusion Destiny, that means you have 3 deck cards in your full deck. You'll have 2 deck cards for your DPE and a deck card of DPE in your extra deck. Also, you could brick on the DPE cards by drawing into them, which I consistently did when I used to run DPE. Did not like it, took it out completely, got rid of it. And let me tell you, it does not affect your gameplay. Up next, we have 3 copies of Dropsies as normal, 3 copies of Lamsies, and 2 copies of Roxies. Pretty standard Prank Kids cards ratio. Now, most of the people now are running 2 Dropsies, 2 Lamsies, 2 Fancies, and 2 Roxies, but again, this takes away from the consistency of you drawing your combo starter card, which I do not like. I brick quite often, as I told you guys, so I want to boost up the consistency. I'm running max of all Prank Kids monsters. Now, the cards that I have added are the Nemesis cards. I run 1 copy of Flag, which if you draw into it, by recycling 1 banished monster, it will allow you to special it on the field, or if you normal it, it can search you for your corridor. So it could set you up for your next turn. 2 uses for the Flag and 2 copies of the corridor itself. Really great cards. They allow you to recycle your Meowmoo over and over and over. I've had games where in a single game, I have, after the ban list, consistently recycled my Meowmoo over and over and over and gone into my Meowmoo 3 or 4 times in a single game. Busted cards. Next, we have 2 copies of Enchantress, 1 Griffin, standard adventure stuff, 1 copy of Nib, 1 of the Harpies, 1 of the Foolish Burial to get our full adventure combo, 1 Instant Fusion. Again, I believe this card is extremely busted. It combo extends into Totally Awesome, which I do run in my extra deck. Really great card. Also allow you to push past your opponent's Nibiru if they nib you and you have Instant Fusion in your hand. Again, full combo even after nib. 1 of your Thunder Dragon Fusion. Now this Thunder Dragon Fusion comes in handy 2 separate ways. This could search you for your combo starter card for your Prank Kids, which is Fancies, or it could search you for your corridor. Really great card. So if you're running the Nemesis tech, you want to run the Thunder Dragon Fusion. Up next, we have 2 Right, 1 Dracoback, 2 Prank Kids Place, 1 Pranks, 1 Faithful Adventure, 2 Call by the Grave, 1 Pandemonium, 1 Cross Out, 1 Forbidden Droplet, and 2 copies of Imperm. Pretty standard stuff afterwards. Nothing too fancy about this. Now let's go into the extra deck list. I run one copy of Rocket Ride, one copy of Weather Washer. Yes, I do run Weather Washer. Now I know most of you guys don't even run it, don't even know what Weather Washers do, but if you are a Prankets player, I implore you, run this card. It is a busted card against a back row set deck, because trust me, I have been through this and it is extremely useful against back row set. Let me explain to you guys why. First of all, back row set players, what they do is they activate floodgates. Cards like Gozen Match or Warlord's Rivalry, they kill off Prankets completely. If they flip over those cards, you cannot combo afterwards. So, if you are going first against back row set, what I tell you guys to do, never ever go into your Butler. Because first of all, Eldritch coming on the field with 3.5k attack is immune to destruction through card effects. So Butler cannot pop it. Instead, what you want to do is you go into Weather Washer. Weather Washer has two effects. Again, it's even useful against Numeron players, or in certain situations if your opponent takes away your combo card on the field which goes into your Butler and you don't have all three in your hand, you could still go into Weather Washer, and if you get the Bow Wow Bark pop, you could put two cards on field immune to destruction through battle that turn. That is one of the effect of Weather Washer, quick effect, so you can do it in battle phase. Another effect against back row set is that if you go into battle phase against back row set and you attack with your Prankets monsters, as long as Weather Washer is face up on the field and not negated, your opponent cannot activate any back row sets in battle phase, as long as you attack with Prankets monsters. So, usually what Eldritch players like to do is they activate the Sanguine in the battle phase to put Golden Lord on the field. This completely counteracts that. Another thing is that this card is a water attribute and aqua type. So this plays right through Gozen, right through Rivalry. Really great card. So let me explain why. This card, if you go into this card, you usually want to go into Weather Washer using your Fansies and your Lamseys. That way, from your graveyard activations, you put two copies of Dropsies on field. Again, Aqua plus Water. Same type and attribute as Weather Washer. So Gozen and Rivalry, they do not affect you. You could still go into Totally Awesome once your opponent is done setting his cards. And if you have another copy of a Dropsies in hand, you could normal it out, go into your roster to get a back row wipe completely. Again, Water plus Aqua. Gozen and Rivalry does not stop this at all. Trust me, I had games where I won completely by relying on this combo. Also, this card on activation can banish Meowmoo on opponent's turn to pull out two cards from graveyard, put them on field. Non-fusion, by the way. So the two cards you generally pull from the graveyard, put them on field, are your Diddle-Doo and your Bow Wow Bark. So if your opponent does not get rid of them, you have so much material on field on your next turn. It's basically guaranteed OTK next turn. So really great card. Please do run it. Then we have one copy of Colossus, again for the Nemesis Corridor into Colossus. Card search lock, really great. Sometimes it just FTKs your opponent if you go into Colossus, and if they rely on card searches, it's pretty much game over. Then one copy of Butler. Yes, I have been running one copy of Butler since I started playing Prankets. Never have ran two copies. Don't want to run it, don't care about running it. It just takes up an extra deck spot. Instead, I would like to run more useful cards. Then, as I said, one copy of Totally Awesome, one of Meowmoo. Again, don't like the Meowmoo nerf. In my opinion, Konami messed up. It sucks, but it is what it is. Then we have two Doodle-Doos, one Bow Wow, and here is the difference between me and other Pranks players. I run one copy of Hida and one copy of Celine. Now, this Hida is extremely busted in my opinion, because if you guys read the card's effect, Hida the Fire Charmer Ablaze's card effects, first of all, the cards you require to go into its summon are two monsters including a fire type monster. Now let me stop right there. What is a fire type monster from a Prank Kids deck? Obviously, the first thought that comes to mind is our Lamseys, right? Wrong. The fire type monster you can go into if you do not have Lamseys is with your Pranks token. Your Prank Kids token is a fire type monster. So you could discard a Pandemonium Save from your hand, get a token, and if you have any other card on field, that equates a Hida. Now what's so great about Hida that I'm running it? First of all, Hida says you can target one fire type monster in your opponent's graveyard and yoink that card, put it on your side. Now what's a fire type monster that's commonly used in Master Duel? Of course, the first thought comes to the head is our Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is a fire type, so if your opponent has Ash Blossomed you, that means you get full combo into Celine into Access Code. Pretty much it. So you yoink Ash Blossom. Now I'm not saying you only have to yoink Ash Blossom. Against Salad plays mostly fire types. You could yoink anything from their graveyard. Against Eldritch, Lava Golem. Lava Golem is fire type. Against Sword Soul, they're Longyan. Longyan being a fire type. There are a bunch of other fire type monsters you can yoink with the Hida, not just the Ash Blossom. But Ash Blossom is the most commonly used, that's why I gave the example of Ash Blossom in the combo. Then what you do is you link off into Celine. Now Celine, you could easily put 3 spells with Prank Kids in grave or on field. That's not that hard, so getting 3 counters on Celine, not that difficult. With Celine, you could activate it and get a spellcaster monster from the grave or our hand and put it on the field face up defense. The card you usually want to go into is your Enchantress. Now you guys can run 2 copies of Effect Veiler to even enhance this gameplay more, but I don't want to run it. Usually I could just link off Celine with some other card on field into my access code as well, so I'm not too worried about running the Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler being a spellcaster monster. So you guys can run it, I don't care about it, I'm okay with that. So Celine into access code, you start popping cards and you go for the OTK that turn. So with Celine, you pull out the Enchantress, right, in your graveyard. Then you go into access code, you banish the Enchantress, get a right, that means you put a 2k token on the field as well. Then if you have another card on field, or if you have a normal summon left, you normal summon it, that's basically more than 8,000 damage that turn itself. That's pretty much game over for your opponent. Also, Hida has another use as well, and this pertains to the Nemesis flag that we are running. Now, I have had a video of me normaling out Ash Blossom and going full combo Hida Celine access code to OTK my opponent, which I uploaded yesterday, so you guys can check it out. Ash being a fire type again links off into Hida. It's extremely busted. You guys might want to try it in your solo matches, see how it feels if you guys want to run this combo. So another effect of Hida is that if this card you control is destroyed by battle or through your opponent's card effect while you control it, you can add one fire type monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. Which are your fire type monster with 1500 or less defense? Not your Ash Blossom, it's 1800 defense. They are your Lamseys, 500 defense, or Flag, 200 defense. That's the reason you run your Flag, because this card acts as a semi-searcher for your Flag or your combo starter card, and Flag lets you search for, again, your Corridor, which secures your next turn after you banish your Meowmoo. Really busted combo, even going into Celine into access code, really busted line. I hope you guys try it. Up next we have Predaplant, obviously for our Thunder Dragon Fusion, our Unicorn, Roaster, and access code. That sums up my deck list. Also guys, don't just copy this deck list and go into rank match and hope that you will have as much success as me, because I understand this deck list. I know what I want to do with it. I have customized this deck list to my own play. Always take a deck list, customize it to your own needs, to your own play style. Take the good parts, throw away the bad parts, and then go into your rank matches. Because what happens to me will not always happen to you. You might not be unlucky with your draws, you might not be unlucky with your coin tosses, so just take the good parts, throw away the bad parts, customize it, and make it your own. Now, I'm going to show you guys something else as well. What you guys can do, what I have been doing sometimes when I am tired of losing my coin tosses, is I add in a bunch of go second cards. So what I do is this. I add in 2 copies of Dark Ruler and 2 copies of Evenly Match. This basically makes my deck have more board breaker cards over consistency. You guys see, if you go second, you draw into this or this, it's pretty much a full board clear, as long as your opponent does not have 9 pillars, of course. But again, what can you do if they have 9 pillars? That's how busted the Helkdon combo is. You could even bump this deck list up to 45 cards. Again, I have done this in the past, so this is like a 45 card sort of go second prank kids, in which you have a bunch of hand traps and board clears as well. So you run 3 Maxi, 3 Ash, 2 Nibs, because again, this meta is centered around heavy combo decks. So Nib, more often than not, will go through. And then your board clear cards like your Dark Ruler and your Evenly Match, that's there for you as well. That's pretty much it for today's video, guys, and I'm gonna call it right here. If you guys do enjoy this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more daily prank video uploads, and if you guys are interested in the live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description itself for you guys to check out. This is JPBDuel signing off for today. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace!